Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Penn, and I had a few days to sit down with the Panasonic UB820. So I'll be going over like my setup, my settings. You are able to pick like different wallpapers, things like that. The wallpaper one, which is the black one, is the default. My favorite color is blue, so I went with blue, and I actually like that a lot better. So it just stands out more. Now on the HDMI, I'm going over the resolution. So to my understanding, if you do auto, it's going to automatically select the best resolution anyway. And then if you do 4K, then you just have it set at 4K. Now, what's been talked about is that the Panasonic UB820 upscales DVDs and Blu-rays pretty well, and I'll cover that in a different video because I do have some anime Blu-rays that I can test out. So for now, I have it in 4K here, but it wouldn't be wrong if you put it in auto. Now, you want the 444 for 4K 60, things like that. I imagine majority of the content that I'll be playing would be in 24 frames per second, but you're essentially paying for this. So you're going to want to just max out that output at 444. And then that's just a 24p output. And I'm on a Samsung QD OLED, so I do not have Dolby Vision. So this is more important here. Before I had it on YCB CR444, and they give you a little bit of a description, right? But essentially, when you leave it on auto, and at least when it comes to my receiver and my display, it makes sure that it outputs it correctly. When I was in Godzilla -1, and when I had it set to 444 on the color mode, the movie didn't play in HDR. It played in standard dynamic range, which is a big no-no. Because a lot of the reasons why we buy these 4K UHDs is not only because of the audio capabilities, we also buy them to see a great looking picture. So I'm just giving you a heads up. This is what works best for me to ensure that I got the best possible picture. And it was indeed 444. So you can pause this. You can like look some of these terminologies up. I believe they're pretty straightforward, to be honest. This right here, I'm gonna pause once again when it comes to HDR TV type. Now they have OLED, they have super high luminance LCD, middle or high luminance LCD, or basic luminance LCD, and projector. Now, this also ties into the HDR optimizer, which I stated in the previous video, where it gives you like this perfectly tone map image. Now, don't take these like in the literal sense where you have to own this technology. Basically, when I did the research on this, it's based off of what it's outputting in terms of the HDR nits. So you will want to go for a super high luminance LCD if your television or your display in general goes above 1,000 nits. You want the middle or high if you're going to be within that range. If you have an OLED TV, traditionally those LG ones that doesn't have the MLA technology, like I have two C2s, for example, and they only get up to 800 nits in HDR. They're below 1,000. So the OLED type would be perfect for those type of displays. But because I'm on a quantum dot OLED, I have to pick a setting that benefits my television. So I hope that makes sense. The HDR optimizer seems to be the most beneficial when it comes to projector type of displays. When it's not getting nearly as bright as the content is mastered in, or your average TV panel, and that HDR optimizer really shines through. So hopefully that does make a little bit more sense. You'll have to play around with it depending on your display. And what ultimately makes sense for you at the end of the day. All right, so went ahead to video, pretty straightforward. I picked frame for pause, seamless play. And most of this stuff is like auto. Now, when it comes to the digital output, you want to make sure that the Dolby Audio and DCS HD is bitstream. And they say it here. They say, hey, if you want to enjoy the original audio, please set BD video secondary audio to off. And that's exactly what I did. And I get the sound as it's intended by the studio or by the sound engineer mix. And, you know, the audio is lossless. So that's fantastic. So these are the settings. These would be the proper settings on this particular screen. And if you feel as though I'm going too fast, you know, feel free to like pause the video, things like that. All right. And for my down mix, I chose surround encoded only because I have a capable receiver that's able to do all that. And most of these settings are going to be auto or default settings. I don't play 3D. I don't have a 3D display. This player does do 3D though, which is fantastic. It's actually lovely, quite honestly. The rest of the stuff is going to be personal preference. Until you go down to like a network. There's a setting in there when it comes down to the BD Live, and I wanted to make sure I had virtually no issues playing back my disc. So you see where it says BD Live Internet Access? Listen, I'm gonna pause here. Once you connect internet to this player, and once you update the firmware, which I strongly recommend that you do, you want to get it disconnected, and then you want to go to the BD Live Internet Access, and you want to set that from active to prohibit. That's just going to make it much more smoother in my personal experience, and then also based off of the research that I did. I don't want any internet access while I'm playing back a physical disc. That's just how I broke it down to myself and how I'm going to break it down to you guys that's watching. Doesn't make any sense. I'm strictly using this as an offline player. All right. And the system section is where you would go to update your firmware or make any necessary changes that you may like. So in this part of the video, right, I'm putting on Godzilla -1, you know, the 4K Blu-ray. And I'm just going to show you some of my recommended or go-to prompts or settings that you may want to pull up during your films, or if you happen to pause it, you may want to make like some adjustments on the fly. And as you can see, it says HDR, high dynamic range. Then it gives you the prompt. It knows that I've seen this film before, which I like. So it has like a built-in memory that's cached not only on the disc, but also to the player, and it syncs, and that I like. So just showing you, like, this is the menus. So if you were to like copy an ISO, you know, to a drive, and you will play it back on a compatible player, this is what you will see exactly for Godzilla -1. And, you know, you get your subtitles, you have your audio settings, which is nice. And then for me, I like the scene selection. I like to be able to jump in, you know, just to test some things out. I've seen this movie twice now, so I have a fair idea of what I like to demo when it comes to myself or to others. And I'm going to be picking a scene shortly. So let me fast forward here real quick. There we go. Got it paused there. And I think this is a nice overall frame. So what's cool about the Panasonic, and obviously I don't have nothing playing, but when you bring back, or when you bring up the playback info, you see here that it gives you what the video is, what what the video has as it presents itself, and what is it like outgoing. So 4K 24p, HDR, BT 2020. As you can see, YCB CR444 12-bit. So I'm outputting exactly what I desired from my settings and what works best for me. 7.1 True HD. And then as you're playing things in real time, you're going to see not only the video bit rate, but you're also going to see the audio bit rate as well. And it's going to fluctuate. And let me tell you something. Godzilla -1, this movie goes above 100 megabits per second in terms of like video bit rate. So that's saying something. Gonna go a little bit further. That brings up the top menu. And then you have the operation menu. So if you want to make some on-the-fly adjustments, you can do that. This is the optimum HDR adjustment, where you can have access to the HDR optimizer. I really don't see a difference between it on and off, because I have a capable display. So, and it's going to depend on what movie you're playing too, I imagine. You know, no big deal, right? But I'm just showing you the different menus and the different layouts that you can experience. And then there's the HDR setting where you're playing with what tone do you want for it. And you can say like bright environment. If you're in like a room with a bunch of light, and then standard is on what you want for like that OLED experience, which it looks phenomenal. But they give you different ideas to play around with. And that's it when it comes to the Panasonic UB820.